Hello YouTube, welcome back with a new video. Today I want to show you a progressive overload bodyweight pull-up workout that you should implement in your weekly training log and be consistent with from now on, because it is very effective for building upper body muscles, especially the delts, biceps, forearms and back muscles, but also if you want to get stronger. All you'll need is going to be a pull-up bar or gymnastic rings, a towel if you have available, but as a general idea, the routine will be based on the most simple and basic exercises possible, though very effective. So stick with my video, you're gonna learn a lot from it, and give me a feedback after you see the routine. I am curious about your opinion, and if you want to try this, then do it, come back and tell me how it went for you. Enjoy watching.
Before getting started with my workout routine, I want to give the list with my exercises and the exact order. You can pause the video here and write them down in a notebook. I will explain everything as you follow through, so I don't recommend closing it for I gave you the list, because there are a lot of aspects I will discuss that are crucial in building muscles and strength with bodyweight training. So 4 sets of 5 pull-ups as your starting exercise. I recommend 2 sets using a pronated grip and another 2 using a supinated grip. In other words, 2 sets of regular pull-ups and another 2 of chin-ups. Consider these 20 pull-ups in total, more to warm you up for the following and extremely challenging pull-up variations. This routine took me a little more than 15 minutes to finish it entirely. It's based on progressive overload, where I blend elegantly 2 tough bodyweight variations that activate the largest muscle fibers with lighter and more basic pull-ups that will help you accrue more work volume and fatigue the whole muscle fibers completely. This kind of training style stimulates very effectively hypertrophy. Control the form and go slower on the eccentric portion. The pause between these 4 sets is no longer than 30-45 seconds. And as soon as you finish your 20 pull-ups, rest 2 minutes, grab a solid towel that can sustain a good portion of the force you generate by doing towel pull-ups. 4 sets for each side. Hence, you only consider a set done after you finish working with both arms. The rep interval can vary depending on the individual. I chose between 5 and 4 repetitions, but if you feel stronger, then by all means do around 6-7 reps. I did 5 reps for my first set. Please focus on the movement as much as possible. Keep a good form and range of motion. This exercise in particular, because it's a lot more difficult to do than a basic regular variation, will activate the largest muscle fibers associated with strength and muscle growth. Therefore, you don't want to rush with it. And if you're not too strong yet, then try to do over 4 sets of 2-3 repetitions. In fact, use a 5-second short break between reps if you want. It's a good strategy for a beginner to train its maximal strength. But never do low volume with this exercise. Even if it is very tough, you still have to increase the amount of work volume done almost up to your maximum capacity. So organize your sets and reps however you want, but do it in a way that fatigues the muscles. Set number 2. Look at the execution. Pull as powerful as possible with the intention of bringing your chest to your fist, but as soon as your chin crosses over the bar, go back on the negative, but a little slower. One thing to take into consideration is that the strength is not equal for both the arms usually, so alternate your arms between them. If on the first set I started pulling with my right arm, and on the second I will start pulling with my left arm first. You can do the same. If you feel stronger in an arm compared to the other, then do the number of reps that your weaker arm can handle. Don't rest more than 10 seconds between switching the arms, and your pause between sets should be from 1.5 minutes to 2.5 minutes, depending on your fitness level. Guys, don't forget to turn on notifications, and please give a thumbs up to my video. It helps the YouTube algorithm. And subscribe if you're new on the channel. You have to pay attention to one detail, and that is your heart rate, because depending on how fast your heart beats, you utilize one metabolism or another to fuel the body. If you exceed 140 BPM, you switch to glycolysis pathway, and that utilizes a lot of glucose to bring into the cells for energy. You want to slow down a little bit and catch your breath. You will resist more reps if your heart rate is lower, under 120 BPM. Your focus should be on squeezing and contracting for hypertrophy purposes, not to do conditioning training. Once you exceed a certain heart rate, it starts to feel more like a high intensity training, and that isn't the purpose right now, or at least not mine. That's why your pause from a set to another should vary depending not only on your strength, but also on how fast your heart beats. If you plan on training for this capacity too, then go ahead and keep it high. But if training the muscles only is your goal, then at some point extend the pause to catch up with oxygen consumption. It took me roughly 19 minutes to finish a total work volume of 54 pull-ups, of which 34 represented by these ones with a towel. Nonetheless, it's a great volume. Before moving to your next variation, rest around 3 minutes. Then continue with another 4 sets, alternatively for both your arms. Uneven pull-ups. This exercise will require tremendous grip strength. It will exhaust your forearms entirely. In fact, when I record this voiceover and edit the video, it is 2 days after this routine, and my forearms, biceps, rear delts and upper back muscles are extremely sore. I like that. It was my intention and why I organized the workout the way you see right now. So this exercise and the specific order isn't just thrown there by instinct. Everything is well thought out. Now, I started my first set with reps of 5. I don't know how many reps you can handle, but even 3 reps per set if you do more than 4 sets is great. Focus on contracting really hard though. Watch out on the range and form because this grip creates swinging, so squeeze the bar hard to balance that. The reason why I let all my sets visible to you, although the video is longer, is that you can observe how I handle every repetition in particular. Pay close attention to all these micro details. This grip and variation feels easier than towel pull-ups, but harder to stay on the bar for more reps. Your grip will collapse more rapidly than your strength to pull. It generates a lot of tension in the forearms especially, but I like how it engages the biceps and lats at the same time. So take your time with this exercise if you want to master it. The pause from a set to another is between 1.5 minutes and 2 minutes. Don't rest too much when you alternate the arms, and remember that you have to do 4 sets for each arm individually.
The strength also dropped a bit, and maybe that's why I cannot squeeze hard enough the bar. So 3 reps.
Until this point, 30 minutes passed, and I have 2 more sets before moving to lighter bodyweight grips with the intention of accruing more volume. Exhaust the muscles entirely, even the endurance fibers, to stimulate growth. I managed, in the end, to do 5 reps, breaking them at 3 because the bar is very slippery and my grip strength dropped. At this moment, I extended a little too much the break time before working my left arm to finish the set number 3 as well. I tried with different gloves and even barehanded, but still difficult to support myself for 5 reps. In the 4th set, I did 4 reps, accumulating 38 reps in total for uneven pull-ups. Until now, I accrued a total work volume of 92 pull-ups, of which almost all of them were done with the hardest bodyweight pull-up reps. I like the pump I got until now, and as you can see, I am tired enough that I do fewer reps now. But question, do you think I still have energy left for other variations too? When people ask me what's wrong with their routine and why they can't grow muscles with calisthenics, well, I typically observe that if they do a workout similar to mine based on difficult variations, they either do 2 working sets with low reps, which is too little, or they stop and don't continue with light bodyweight variations too, like I do right now. And that is the biggest mistake one can do in growing muscle with calisthenics. As you will see, I still have a lot of strength available, but not to work with the same intensity anymore. I need variations that generate less tension so I can increase the number of sets and reps. The goal is to exhaust the muscles entirely, and believe me that the endurance muscle fibers aren't completely drained until this point. But they will soon be after I finish with the following sets of various pull-ups. Rest 2 minutes after you finish uneven pull-ups. Then, do 10 sets of various pull-ups, grips of your choice. The rest time from a set to another is of 30 to 45 seconds. You need to keep a minimum break time to burn the muscles for good. If you have problems in holding on that short break time, then extend it to 1 minute. Also, the rep range can vary from 4 reps to 10 reps if you still got such a great muscle endurance left. Until this point, 40 minutes passed and I'm done with the most difficult part of my training. In less than 15 minutes, I have to get done 50 pull-ups. Use any kind of grip preferred, even body rows if you will. Focus on your neuromuscular connection, so eliminate everything that might distract you from training. I remind you again to give a thumbs up to my video if you find it helpful and to subscribe if you want to receive future workout videos. You know that nutrition plays at least half the part, so regardless of how smart this workout is, unless you eat correctly, it may all be for nothing. So go on my Instagram because it's there where I post my meal samples. Also, check out my high volume calisthenics workout program linked in the corner and description. I added there a lot of similar routines, all effective to grow muscles and strength. By now, at set 7, I can feel that my muscles started to burn a lot more. I would have done a mistake to stop my training soon after finishing uneven pull-ups. Moreover, I want to tell you that my abs are at least as sore as the upper body muscles. I always said it that abs work every time you do pull-ups. Each repetition contracts the abs every time, and the more volume you accrue, the more abs will work. That is why it's pretty easy to maintain your abs strong even without too much specific abs training. It is pretty hard to hang off the bar at this point, but once I'm done with the last set, I accrued 142 bodyweight pull-ups. I really like the number, but what I want to tell you is that high volume calisthenics doesn't only refer to hundreds of reps. It depends a lot on the individual. You can build reps by training the same muscle groups or movements more frequently in a week. For you, 70 pull-ups may be enough to burn the muscles and stimulate hypertrophy at the same level with mine. And I need maybe twice as many reps. It's still considered hard work because you pushed yourself over the limits, so don't compare your numbers with mine.
I don't have enough strength to squeeze the bar. Done. This was my pull-up workout. I built up from the most basic variations to something really challenging like the towel pull-ups and uneven pull-ups, and then I wanted to accrue more volume and focused again on the simplest and more basic fundamental exercises. All this trained my upper body muscles. I feel very pumped. You can see that I struggled a lot with the last sets, more than 4 reps, 5 reps. Very hard for these past 10 sets. You should try it. I actually challenge you. It's pretty tough, but if your question is whether this works for hypertrophy, building muscles, yes, it does if you're consistent with it and train it more regularly, once, twice per week. You can also include other variations. Thank you for watching. I catch you in the next video.